shit you start with your thing?
Yep, I feel like I'm getting interrogated. Like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. My name's Darcy. I drive a 2015 Toyota GT86. I drift because it's fun, but also it's something about, keeping a car in control while it's out of control is very, very enticing. But most of it's just fun. I like to be quite stylish. I haven't, spent a lot of money trying to get it to where I want it, but the way I'd express myself is I've got some rare body kits that I put on the car. Like, I've got the livery, I've got, the nice wheels and stuff, and I put a 326 wing from a Sylvia on there just because I love the old 90s look. And this is quite a new car, it's from 2015, but there is that support to make it look and have that style of the 90s, and I'd say I express myself through that. There's not many cars I've ever seen who actually have this body kit on there, not in Australia anyway, and let alone with a wing from a Nissan Silvia on there. So that's how I'd say I'd express myself in there. And even with comes to interior, I've got the bright red bucket seats. The whole car is blacked out, but it's just got a really bright interior. Like, that's sort of how I express myself through there. One of the big reasons I went with the body kit I have now is back in the 90s, there was a kit called BN Style, which made a lot of body kits for the Nissan Silvias and Skylines. And they are what typical people say would be like a bell style, where it's got, big aggressive lips and big side skirts that bell out. Same with the rear, you've got your big diffusers and stuff. And that's sort of, what I've gone for in this 86 is it's a lot of 90s style. And same thing with, the wing that I've got on it is actually, it was designed in the 90s and they still produce them now. It was for the Silvias and it was very stylish back then, and it's still very stylish now. I feel like, and I've spent time trying to make it all work together, and I think I've got it looking, the way I want it at the moment. Yeah. My mate Jaden, he first brought me to a Drift Matsuri event a couple of years ago, and he said he's been, drifting and stuff for a couple of years. And I wasn't really big into it because I was grip racing at the time, which was just going around the track for the best time. But yeah, Jaden's definitely like one of the mates who got me into it, and then obviously meeting my sister's boyfriend's pretty big into it. But definitely Jaden would be the kickstart getting me to that event, spend the whole weekend at the track. Yeah, so when I was grip racing this car, I had some really aggressive semi-slick tyres on, and it started raining about 6 laps in on, we were at Lakeside near Ipswich, and it started pouring down, and obviously the track, changed up quite a bit as it come around this corner, and I came in just as hard as I was when it was dry. Ended up kicking out on me and I spun and went into, backwards into a tyre wall, which ended up, wrapping around the side and banging both the doors as well. So that was a bit of a bummer, but you got to keep going and you'll end up having fun. And even that day, I wasn't upset. Like, obviously I was, but we just tore the rear bumper off, bent a couple of things and got back out there, and I ended up getting 3rd place or something as well for time that day, which was, a nice little addition. But I'd say that's why I've also, tried to get into the drifting side, is, how to control the car when it was out of control. And looking back on it, like, there's so many things I could have done, and I would have been able to, pull out of there if I knew what I knew now. I'd say it feels like a big adrenaline rush. Having a car sideways, especially doing the speeds we're doing, where you're doing it over 100k an hour, keeping the car sideways. But it feels good, but it's also very scary. that's part of the reason why I do it is, you know, you're getting over the fear of driving, keeping the car, you know, in control when it's out of control is a massive skill to have. Because, you know, if you're coming around a roundabout or something, you know, in town and it's wet and it kicks out on you, you know exactly how to control it, how to do everything you need to know. And I follow a guy on YouTube called Nick Ramirez who basically covers everything there is about this chassis and how capable they are of drifting and stuff. I've always liked them. I originally was going to go for an R33 Skyline, which is a Nissan, but I ended up choosing this because it was a bit cheaper, and they come factory LSD, they come manual. Yeah, they got a boxer motor in them with not a lot of power, but like what, I've just slapped a turbo on it, turned the boost up, and it makes almost 300 horsepower, and that's plenty to have fun in. And I think they're really good cars, mainly the fact that they're 50-50 weight distribution. They're quite light, so they're only about 1200 kilos, and yeah, they have enough power to kick it sideways when it's stock anyway, so that'd be one of the reasons I chose them. Plus they look really good. So yeah, I've had a few people hop in my car and they say, wow, this is like really smooth and stuff, and I'd say my technique is it's not so aggressive, it's more a streamlined kind of smooth technique. I try and use less steering input, more accelerator or brake to sort of steer the vehicle. So instead of like Formula Drift, I'd much rather, you know, try and do Final Bout, which is like all about, you know, team drifting and stuff, not just one-on-one. It's all about, you know, who's got the best drift team, who's doing, you know, the most stylish drift driving, and it's also who's got the most stylish cars. They don't just, you know, mark you on how well you are at driving. It's all about how well you built your car, how nice does it look, you know, how good as a team, you know, you guys look, and that kind of thing. I'd much rather Final Bout, and I think that suits me more for my passion and style, I'd say, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Was that good or shit?